Angry, 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 angry Ozzy. 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 Angry, 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 angry Ozzy. 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 Angry, 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 angry.
Yes, okay. Don't know if anyone's. Oh, wow, that looks weird because this isn't on. There we go. Did that. Anyway, shooting a video. Thought I'd have done this 10 minutes ago and I kept forgetting things. All right, let's. Okay. Ready to go, I guess. Across. Okay. Doobly checking. Getting everything ready. And I'll even pour out the first thing. What else? All right. Let's get this happening. Shaboom. Okay, so we go. Right. A little bit the high proof. Red. Sweet vermouth. Die crème de cacao. And chocolate bitters. Where is my chocolate bitters? There they are. Hey, McLeach. Just doing the usual as a warm up. Okay. Now we shake that. No, wait. That's stirred. This is a stirred cocktail. Oh, what did I do then? I need to do this. All right. Get some ice baby happening now. Okay, let's start that again. And gonna stir this sucker. It's actually pretty good. This doing here. Okie dokie. I want to put my glass there now. Right. Let's strain that in. Okay. And now we're getting ready. Okay, that can stop. Can in fact switch off for a while. And in fact can even move, because I'm going to take a little picture of my cocktail. All right, very arty I'm being here. Now I'll do the talky thing. All right, so we're going to soften the light. Turn on the audio recorder. Get our video camera happening. That seems like a good idea. Like a good idea. Actually, I should keep this up because it's got the recipe on it. What are we doing? All right. Recording. G'day cocktail lovers. Today I'm going to make a stirred version. G'day cocktail lovers. Today I'm going to do a stirred boozy cocktail that captures the flavour of the popular tiki drink, the Jungle Bird. This is called the Minor Bird, and we make it like this. In our mixing glass, we put 1 ounce of an aged rum, then 1/4 of an ounce of a high proof rum, then 1/2 ounce of a bitter red aperitivo like Campari, 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. To sweeten it a little, we'll do just 1/4 of an ounce of creme de cacao and round things out with 2 dashes of chocolate bitters. We add ice to our glass and stir that for around 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute it a little. And then we're straining it into a double rocks glass over a nice big chunk of ice. There's a car going past. Why is there never used to be cars? And here is the Minor Bird. It's lightly bitter, and you get actually just those little dashes of chocolate bitters in the creme de cacao. There's a little chocolate undercurrent in there. This is a really nice drink to just sit back and sip. I recommend you give it a go. The Minor Bird. All right, now I'll sit down for a while and embrace the relaxation of a Tuesday night. Do that. I'll switch this off. I'll move this. I'm planning to make one more video tonight. Planning to. We'll see how it goes. I'm not actually rushed because I am actually a long way ahead. But I prefer to stay ahead rather than suddenly be under pressure. Here, I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? And share because I made tonight's theme Happy Birthday, Mr. Punch of the Punch and Judy fame. Just going to warm up. I actually did some image creation before the stream. And the first prompt I used was a grotesque caricature of Mr. Punch. And wow, they certainly are grotesque. That actually looks weirdly sculpted. That looks like a real thing. Pretty unsettling though. And I don't get that being Mr. Punch, but it's certainly grotesque. And that one's got scary, that's like Rat Man. He's got like rat ears and rat teeth. And he lives on Spoogus Street, apparently. And yeah, that's just disturbing. Oh God, that looks like one of J.K. Rowling's anti-Semitic characters from Harry Potter. Good Lord. And then I just gave it a more generic Punch and Judy, but it was locked into the macabre stuff. It's like the clown from It on the left. And why there's that guy, that's a more realistic guy with a giant big weird wooden puppet. Again, they're like clowns. They're not like Punch and Judy at all. It's quite weird. That's a bit more like it. It looks like the traditional violence is about to start. So there you go. I was actually pre-gaming with the AI image generation. Some scary stuff in there. Anyway, I'm just going to chill while we wait and see if anyone's joining us. If not, I'm just going to make another go. Oh, I'll switch the banner off for now. I'll be back off soon. I really expected to have this first video shot like 10 minutes before the stream. And I swear to God, the same shit happens to me. Oh, you know what? I'm going to garnish this. I didn't for the video, but I'm going to for me. Use the last of this orange peel and put a cherry in there because I'm a special boy who deserves special treats. And also, Mrs. Angry gets the orange peel for her hot chocolate in the morning and, you know, adds a little bit of flavor to her hot chocolate. Now, this is a denuded orange. I'll juice that tomorrow. Use it to make a clarified cocktail. That's just the level of bitterness I can tolerate. That's actually pretty good. The chocolate, man, I could actually go a little bit more of the creme de cacao, I think. Because with the chocolate bitters and the bitter aperitivo, you're just getting that bitter chocolate vibe in there, which is actually quite pleasant. Oh, I need a cherry too, because as I said, I'm a special boy. Where did I? Oh, right, okay. God, I need to sort some shit out. Okay. Let me complain, like, this is just like such a good setup compared to what I had before. But in my mind, I'm just going about things that could be better. I could have even more space. There's not that much space here. Oh, the cherries are actually over there. Okay. Although stabbing one might be a challenge. Yes, if it is, I will just use my bar spoon. But I'll try and stab one. Just because I find it amusing to do so. Provides me with a little entertainment. Hello, Dr. Abigail. Oh, I'm doing my level best to trip over things there, and somehow it didn't happen. So, come on, open jar. Stab. I can, slippery little sucker. I can feel it just missing the, gotcha. I could feel it just missing the skewer. having this perverse idea today because I got emailed from one of the places that I sometimes buy booze from, and they got this incredibly rare, and I mean like 60-year-old Scotch whiskey, and there's a varying degrees of expensive. There is a whole bunch of different years going back over the last 60 years. I think they were between 20 and 60 years old. The 60-year-old one, $20,000, and they only have one bottle of it. And I was just like, you know what? And they had a whole bunch more that were thousands and 10,000 or whatever. Not necessarily the $20,000 one they only got one of, but I think they had more than one of the others. I would seriously, just to fuck with people, if I won lotto, I would buy like super expensive bottles like that and then use them to make cocktails. So hardcore whiskey people would just lose their fucking minds. Oh, neat. No, distilling stuff is not cheap. And if you're truly distilling, it's that fun little soupçon of excitement. The still could explode because it's under pressure. I did see someone in Melbourne was selling small scale distilling kits, and I found their info on their website incredibly amusing because I believe it is illegal to distill alcohol at home. And they said, this equipment's for making essential oils or distilling water, not for doing anything illegal. It was just like, and it was like us talking about Minecraft. They were just going like, no, if you buy this, we want to be clear that you're using it to make essential oils or distilled water, not for anything illegal. They weren't even doing it tongue in cheek. They were doing it absolutely straight. But it was so freaking obvious. They're like, yeah, obviously people buy this to distill alcohol at home, and that's completely illegal. We're not aiding and abetting illegal activity. There are theoretically legal uses of this equipment. Oh, God. And yes, you're buying lab equipment for distilling water and essential oils. Exactly. Speaking of in Minecraft, if and whenever I go in Minecraft again, I know what I'm going to friggin' do. Gonna listen to some ASMR Twitch streams. That was new to me. The other day I was hearing around, a friend went live. You know, they were just doing a gaming thing on Twitch, and I watched for a while. And then I clicked around, what's on, what's popular? And of course, there's Hot Tub Stream, which I find weird. Like, okay, attractive women and sometimes men in very little in a hot tub. Sure, I mean, porn exists, and I guess why people like the hot tub streams is there's a whole parasocial relationship thing going on. I do still find it a bit odd. Not, getting turned on by nearly naked people. Nearly naked people are great. And, this is a nearly naked person making money, good for them. And, go ahead and watch it. I just find it a bit weird because it's like, well, there is porn on the internet. But anyway, then there was like another popular thing was ASMR. And I thought, what do they do on ASMR channels? And it was trippy as fuck. I don't know if they were all as professional as the one I happened on, but I know she had this microphone that I've seen other people use, and it's like got a pipe on the top of it, and it's a stereo mic. So you make noises at either end of this thing, and it's echoing. And she had reverb on, and she had a mic like this. This is a stereo mic, and again, she had reverb on it, and she used to make all these little noises. She obviously does it heaps because she knows how to get subtle and less subtle sounds.
but it was trippy as fuck. And I immediately thought, yes, next time I'm in Minecraft, I'm going to listen. Well, watching is not that interesting. Although, again, there's the ASMR streams are usually at least somewhat sexualized, but I'm just listening to an ASMR stream with headphones on. My God. Ooh, we've got some AI art already. Gotta love that. What am I doing? I'm wanting to load Discord. Do 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 do. Oh, well, fuck this. Oh, nice. These are actually quite nice looking images. Sorry, I got distracted by a private message. And my response to that is it's a side thing for some people who think Aidsy was a saint and a greater than human celestial being. When many years ago, we ran YouTube meetups for a long time, and most of the people who showed up were good. A small number were fucked, and one fucked person was an absolute fantasist who was trying to do all this pickup artist bullshit where they big note themselves, and it was absurdly see-through. And so I didn't think they really need to be told, but I thought I was in a position of some responsibility. So I did say to every woman there, that guy's not good. Don't believe anything he says and whatnot. And he was an a-hole. And I know Aidsy tried to sort him out and just like, don't do this bullshit. But he was just an horrifically awful person and horrifically annoying. To the point that I did find out one time they'd been in a serious accident and were in a coma, to which Aidsy could not stop laughing. And it was just like, wow, karma. How's about that? Anyway, that's just for anyone who thinks Aidsy was a flawless human. Yes, both of us were sick, fucked up in. Oh my God, some of the stuff we talked about doing on to interweb, which we never actually did, but it would have been extremely fucked up. But yeah, when people weren't around, we were fucking terrible. And sometimes when people were around, we were fucking terrible as well. Yeah, I don't. This is not me slagging Aidsy. This is saying we were both terrible. Anyway, side story about how I'm venting about particular things. But I just wanted to share these quite nice images of someone using a still to distill essential oils. That's a really nice picture. I love the color palette on that. Very coppery. Very nice. And there's one more of one more. Again, beautiful lighting. Not exactly sure. Oh, is that oil dripping off the person's hand? It got a bit confused. But again, nice image. Oh yes, Dr. Abigail, you raise a good point about what is it? I think okay. Is there a difference between a fantasist, a fabulist, and a compulsive liar? I don't know. I don't know if that's just semantics, but yeah, I think while you raise a valid point, Dr. Abigail, I think we were actually told by someone else, but yes. But Aidsy was also, sometimes God does listen. So. But yeah, I do. Again, we had so many people come to these YouTube meetups over the years, and like I said, the overwhelming majority of them were really nice people, really cool people. A small number of really dangerous ones, like twice there was sexual predators, and one was very obvious from the get. Well, revealed himself the first day. The other one stayed under the radar for a very long time, which is very disturbing. But yeah, it's but yeah, and also just people who insist on constructing elaborate fantasies. And I think with some people it's malicious, some people they're just manipulative and they want to victimize other people, and their motivations for telling these lies is really malicious. And for others, I think it's insecurity bordering on mental illness, and they're so unhappy within themselves they can't stop concocting elaborate fantasies, and they may not necessarily be malicious, but it's not healthy for anyone. Ah, Safa. Oh, you've been budget nerding. Nice. See, that's what I was going for, actually. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the definition there, Glitch. That's what I was thinking about a fabulist. A fabulist is someone who like constructs elaborate stories and fantasies about themselves and about the world, but is not necessarily malicious about it. Whereas when I think about, like, someone I'd call a compulsive liar, they're nasty and malicious. And hey, Justin, how are you doing? Compulsive liar is someone who frequently, for no apparent reason, symptom of mental health conditions such as borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder. Yep, that sounds about right. Sorry. Okay. Juzzy's done some asked an AI to do budget night pictures. It's actually done a pretty good job of like generic blue suited politicians. I think it's quite familiar with politicians, basically. Also, this is okay. This is one of the less well-known image generators as well, a less good one. Oh, Safa. Oh, I bet that sucks, dude. At family things, if someone wants to be a compulsive liar, that would fucking suck. But anyway, Juzzy's budget night. Again, that's the weird, twisted in little face this guy's got, which is kind of funny. Wait, where am I? What is this thing doing to me? Safa, I don't think I had any compulsive liars in my family. Just the normal level of liar. And yeah, oh yeah, while we're throwing these things out, we wouldn't actually diagnose someone. I'm not a professional. That one's a less distorted and fucked up face. He's got Prince Charles hands. His right hand there is all sausage fingers. Did you see those actual real photos of Prince Charles with his weird sausage? I should say that I have edema in my legs. It's like water retention, but apparently he's had it in his fingers for decades. It looks painful, actually. It looks painful. There are a variety of things that I will pick on Chuckles for. Physical infirmity is not one of them, though. It actually looks quite painful. There's a little no one in the gallery in Parliament picture. And this one, actually, this one looks, first glance, this one looks almost like a photo. And even then you look closer and it's got those dead black eyes, and that's even more like a politician. got to consume some more blood from babies under the caves under Parliament House. Yes, QAnon, I'm with you. Oh yeah, Safa, the Labor saying they've got the budget in surplus, which is fascinating. Again, it's smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. Those things they say are close to meaningless. But yeah. Sorry, I just got a text from Dr. Abigail reminding me that on Thursday I will get a reminder text from YouFoods that my food's coming. It's good to be reminded that I'm going to get a reminder during the stream, actually. Yeah, Megaleech, that's is the trouble with even it's kind of yeah, again, sorry, the short answer is if you're having troubles like that and obsessively constructing fantasies when you're not a fiction writer is a problem. Yes, get actual professional help. And yeah, because even the benign side, like when you have someone like, and this is an unrelated one, but say someone who has like manic depression. Depression's really obvious. You feel bad, and everyone can see you feel bad, and it's like, yeah, get help. But the mania side, and I've both known people who go through this, and I've read accounts of this. The mania side can actually seem productive and positive, and it's kind of not, because there's a very high chance you'll do things you shouldn't do. So yes, even like comparatively benign manifestations, mental health challenges, you should get some help, go to a professional. No, Safa, I have not had takeaway night yet. In fact, look, talking of texts, I might send them a text. I meant to do it earlier today, and I got distracted. In there, good night for take away this week. Little copy. Okay, now send. Just while I think of it. So thanks for the reminder, actually, Safa. All right. Put that out of the way. Okay. So I had a dinner I made myself. There's a mix of some chicken tenders and pasta and mushroom cream sauce. Oop. It's a quick one. Yeah. Yes. So while the yes, Safa, I'm a fine cook. Although this was all pre-prepared stuff that I just mixed up. It was good. It was actually 2 meals. I made it last night. It was a big thing, and I had half of it last night, half of it tonight. Thank you for checking in with the Angry Cooking Channel. Da, da, da. Jesus Christ. Sorry. That's Dr. Abigail. That message is probably funnier than the sorry, that message is probably funnier than the YouFoods one you sent me. Delusions. Oh, hey, Rays, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Oh dear. That's yeah. But yes, we all like to imagine, like I was imagining today, if I won Lotto, I'd buy this, $10,000 bottle of whiskey and then make a YouTube video of, instead of keeping it for it to appreciate in value, opening it and making cocktails with it, which would make whiskey obsessives' brains just fucking explode. Although again, this I don't mind. This is not something you want to think about all the time. And in fact, if I wanted these fantasies to come true, I would at least occasionally buy a lotto ticket. But I kind of thought, like, morally, if I won lotto or something, I'd feel somewhat compelled to come up with a list of, like, here are worthy causes. Whenever I spend money on something stupid for myself, I have to give the same amount of money to a worthy cause. then I'd be able to live with myself morally. So if I buy a $10,000 bottle of whiskey just to piss off people on the internet, I'd also have to give $10,000 to a worthy cause. Raise, if you had a lot of boat dock at the most expensive place, show up like a bogan. Yes, you and me both, mate. Cashed up bogans. Actually, I think boats are really fucking cool. I'm hardly ever on one. I had a friend in Adelaide who had what classifies as a smallish one, but it was still pretty fucking cool. Had a bedroom and a little kitchenette and a bathroom with a shower. I mean, that's pretty fucking wild. But I think boats are actually pretty cool. That would honestly be tempting. A boat would be tempting. And yes, the joy of just behaving like a friggin' bogan around really snobby people, that would be a thing. Oh, yes. I mean, I'm literally only saying if I had a stupid amount of money and was going to spend some of it on stupid things. Ooh, a houseboat. Yeah, let some homeless people live in the houseboat. That's a nice touch. Sorry, these images, the prompt of a realistic picture of a cocktail made with $10,000 whiskey. These are quite funny interpretations of that. This one, that's interesting. That's like with the mint, that makes it look like a mint julep served up rather than in the thing. And just in case no one knows I'm rich, there's rolls of money there. But this one I find humorous. Stuff the money in the cocktail. And it's got a bit of a thing for putting mint in there. It's interesting. But yes, just to prove how rich I am, gonna stuff money in the cocktail. Oofed. Well, that's a whole thing. All right. Big question. Will I make another I might. Robin Hood tax laws, take from the rich, give to the poor. Yeah. Well, Rage, you could probably get a penthouse apartment in a skyscraper. The actual buildings are in the billions, I think, or at least the hundreds of millions. I have to admit, you just made me remember something. Way back in the Occupy protest, when there was Occupy Melbourne, I went out because I was working in the city. And there's a big protest, just like really clogging the streets, and it was outside Melbourne Town Hall. And there's like a balcony up there overlooking it, and I just had the urge, like a massive troll thing to do, which would be hilarious, is to be dressed like some English lord, like, you know, the top hat and tails, a monocle, and a champagne flute, and just look down on the peasants. I just to be clear, was the peasants. But I just thought, why do I think that would be so funny? Probably because I'm a terrible person. Justin, I don't know. I wouldn't be that surprised. There are rich people in Melbourne who have bought entire blocks in the most expensive suburbs in Melbourne, so they are not bothered by other people. They have little estates on blocks. So the idea of Zuckerberg buying out his entire street does not sound completely implausible. Actually, yes, now that you mention it, Dr. Abigail, I do actually remember that on Wall Street. Yes. It's not funny when someone actually does it. For me, it was funny as a concept. But yes, when the actual 1% do it, it's time to bring out the community composting solution, I say. But where's my phone? I was going to make one more cocktail. Okay. Fair enough. I'm just getting text messages again. Well, again, that's the one way to have real privacy, have a country estate. But I think Zuckerberg actually, wanted to live in the city because that's where it was. Well, I'm thinking of, composting solutions. Either, a wood chipper, maybe. Oh, okay. These an English lord with a monocle looking down on people. Okay, these have a bit of a vibe. So this one, he looks like a ne'er-do-well ruffian. I don't know, his hat looks a bit steampunky. He generally looks a bit steampunky, actually. He's a bit weird. Okay, this other one though, I don't like this other one. He looks like a private schoolboy, or in England they'd say a public schoolboy, who's going to go on to lead the Conservative Party and fuck over the working class. I don't like him at all. He's a bit too real, honestly. Oh, God, the reason I picked up my phone is I was going to look at this cocktail recipe. I got everything ready for it. It'll only take me a couple minutes because I'm super fucking efficient. Where is the Trello? Okay, so Minor Bird is in doing an Ensign Iron Maiden. Right. Oh gosh, they're really getting there now. Sorry, Megaleech has posted a few more of these obnoxious rich people looking down on the working class. Oh, these ones really have a vibe now. Because it's actually got, the crowd of people behind them. It doesn't look at all real. The face looks like a caricature. And, oh, God, to me, he's looking like pre-World War I German nobility. Oh god, yeah, this one looks with their thing is like, I'm the Lord Mayor of London. And he's all bedazzled. Yeah, no, he's getting pretty obnoxious. He's got a vibe I do not like. Okay, I got a weak spot for this guy because of his huge walrus mustache. And his incredibly overlarge hat is quite appealing as well, honestly. I like that even though the people who are out of focus, they're all very ordinary people. Like they're not looking fancy. He's looking fancy. That's probably my favorite of the pictures, actually. No, I don't dislike that guy. Yes. And it didn't really give anyone a monocle, did it? No. Sorry for the raise for a bumper sticker. It's not alcoholism as being efficient at drinking. Well, except there's a lot of alcohols who aren't very efficient. They're very messy about it. Right. I'm going to quickly make this one an Ensign Iron Maiden with lots of chartreuse in it, but it's supposed to be good. All right. So I need to do this in 2 phases. I need to put away all these bottles I got out and get out some other bottles. Okay. Putting away the rum. Okay, you can just go over there. These 2 go in here. And okay, you go there. You go there. Grün absinthe, green chartreuse, I should say. I want the Saint Germain. There's only a teeny bit of this left. My little webcam trying to auto adjust the light. Good. You keep trying. Oh, I was thinking, what's that? It's the blue light in there. I was confused. Lemon juice and honey syrup. Okay. This is a simpler cocktail. Close that up. All right. Let's get it on. Okay. I'll put that there. Yes. Oh, now let's get this over here. Turn it on. Okay, first I'm going to turn this on. All right. That's about right. All right, let's quickly make this. So, all right, I should turn this on. $15 million to change their man. Go with some honey syrup. Not really honey syrup, but no one on the internet will know. Don't tell. And finally, lemon juice. Okay. Okay. Let's that. No. Let's give it a bit more ice. Okay, getting a bit more ice. Just all the ice. There we go. Okay. This. Get my. Which glass will I use? I'll use the Nicanora again. Oh, now I'll just make sure that that's framed up right. Do. Start it up. Okay, give this a little shot. Okay. Und strand that into the glass. Nice wash line. Okay. Alrighty. Let's switch that off. Get the little GoPro out of the way. I'm going to take a picture. Getting a bit more professional at this shit. Do the old portrait mode as well. All right. Okay. Okay, so moving this, make it a bit gentler. Use my chair so I can put the camera here. Bring the camera. All right, we're happening. We're all happening here. This won't take long. Okay. Turn on my audio recorder. Oh, got to turn my little thing around. I like to see myself to make sure I'm really there. G'day, cocktail lovers. Are you not scared of the chartreuse? I'll try that again. G'day, cocktail lovers. Are you not worried about the chartreuse shortage? Want to make a cocktail with lots of green chartreuse in it? Well, try this one, the Anson Iron Maiden. I found this one on Steve the Bartender's. Oh, Jesus, that's a really simple sentence. Why can't I say it? I found this one on Steve the Bartender's Facebook group. It was created by bartender Stephen Feld, who's in Anson in Germany. In the shaker, put 2 ounces or 60 mils of green chartreuse, then 15 mils or half an ounce of elderflower liqueur, 25 mils, just under an ounce of lemon juice,
25 mils or just under an ounce of honey syrup, and the same amount, 25 mils of lemon juice. Add ice to the shaker, shake that good and hard for around 10 seconds, and then strain it into a chilled glass. That much chartreuse makes it pretty hardcore. The Ensign Iron Maiden. I tell you what, Thomas is right. These other elements smooth out. I tell you what, Thomas is right. These other elements smooth out the chartreuse. This is a really approachable drink. I really like it. You should try it. The Ensign Iron Maiden. Right, done. This is actually a good drink. I like it. Okay, let's sit down. Well, see, Dr. Abigail is saying that's what I'm worried about. I need some sort of external confirmation that I exist. Why do you think I've been doing all this stuff on YouTube for so long? Besides rampant narcissism and exhibitionism, it's also a fear that I don't really exist and I keep needing an external affirmation of my existence. Yeah, that was a lot of outtakes. Oh, a rating, Megalich. Solid 8. This is really nice. 8 bordering on 8.5, actually. That's really good. That is actually genuinely good. The one I made earlier, probably 7.5, because it was pretty good, but I wouldn't be motivated to make it again. This one I would make again. Definite 8 to 8.5. Matt, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm going to have to post that to the Steve group and go, no, our man Steve in Germany knows what the hell he's doing. That is a nice drink. Well, yes. But did you manipulate me into existence, Dr. Abigail? That's the big question. We live in a complex universe, and it's hard to really know what's actually happening. Sorry. I just responding to a private message. Jesus. I tell you what, there are some weird, fucked up people in this world. And, there's fun fucked up. And there's, I'm worried about that person fucked up. And I'm also worried about anyone who falls for their creepy, incredibly obvious manipulation. And we all like to think that we would know if someone's trying to manipulate us. We wouldn't fall for it. I'm clever. I'm strong. I can't be manipulated. That actually makes you, in some ways, more susceptible to manipulation. I know it's happened to me, and I was even conscious of it at the time. Like, no, I can't be getting manipulated. I'm a strong, clever man. I'm not weak and easy to be manipulated. So I was like gaslighting myself. I'm imagining that this situation is really manipulative because I wouldn't allow myself to be manipulated. Wow. Okay. You have actually. Oh, no. I get what you get. You will people into existence. I get what's happening. Oh, Matt, I'm just talking about weird, fucked up people in general. No. There's no loop, man. There's no loop. It's just I was talking about old days of YouTube and running into people, and that was just a general thing about my life. Pre Mrs. Angry, actually.
And even in my current relationship, which is wonderful and special and just great, and I'm generally extremely happy, every now and then I get upset at something, and then I realize I need to explain to Mrs. Angry I reacted badly then because in multiple of my previous relationships, if my partner said or did that thing, they would be fucking with me and setting me up to, just treat me like shit. And I know that is not what you are doing, but it matched a pattern of behavior that I had been subjected to in the past for a long time. And in this instance, I have to consciously tell myself that's not happening now. And that's why traumatic relationships are so fucking bad. The trauma doesn't stop when you're out of the relationship. It affects good relationships. Here's me being philosophical and giving relationship advice. But I'm just like really enjoying that one. It's, oh god, I probably should have thrown a bit of absinthe in it, actually. Just like an absinthe rinse. I think someone remind me on party night, I might make that again with an absinthe rinse. Just the teeniest splash of absinthe. And I reckon that would give it a bit of an edge, which would be really nice. So if there's a weird, fucked up, sycophantic, compulsive liar watching right now, get therapy. Yeah, you know, if some random internet person who I've never met and so is completely hypothetical, but happens across and go, wait, I recognize myself in this description of manipulative fantasists who feel so empty in their own lives that they need to make up complete fantasies. If you recognize that in yourself, that means you're in trouble. You need help. Suffer, how Tim Smith am I? Not even half, I don't think. Although, I mean, this relatively strong drink, 2 shots of 55% ABV alcohol, so 3 standard drinks. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Abigail, so much hypothetical. I mean, also when I talk about, guillotining, hanging, composting, wood chipping people, all hypothetical, not something I would actually recommend in real life. Just talking in the abstract. It's a, what do they call it? It's a thought exercise. It's it's oh my god. Also, I was just thinking about boomer energy as well. I'm on a Facebook group called Man Invents Scenario and then gets angry. Man creates imaginary scenario and then gets angry at it. And so they're always posting cringe boomer memes. Like right-wing boomer memes, particularly about the good old days and whatnot. But the best ones are the boomers who use their phone to take photos of a computer screen because they don't know how to do screenshots. That's just like you go, oh, wow, we've just hit peak boomer. Yeah, no. Oh dear, it's so funny. It's all in Minecraft, Justin. It's all in Minecraft. But again, yeah, it's I find this group, this Facebook group I was talking about, entertaining and also somewhat informative. It's like, oh, this is the current obsession of these weirdos. And of course, the number one thing they're doing with, and it's, it's stochastic terrorism. They are actually inspiring people to actual murder. Um, um, and but yes, it's the focus on trans people and drag queens, particularly in the US, but it's happening in Australia too. Events being cancelled because of violent threats, and it's kind of like cops in ACAB, but cops are finally working out these far right, violent wackos are dangerous to them. They will kill them. What happened? Someone dinged me, and I've left my phone somewhere. It's over here. What are we doing, phone? Yeah, but yeah, it's like being in this group where people are posting. Well, this is the thing that the right wingers with brainworms are posting about now, and it's informative. I think it's important to kind of know this stuff, and it can be amusing. Like, ha ha, ha, they've got brainworms. Look at that. But then it's like, this stuff gets into particular people's heads. And if you've never heard the term stochastic terrorism, it's referring to someone who never actually commits acts of violence, but through what they say, directly and deliberately inspire other people to acts of terrorism. You talk about the religious leaders who preach to their zealots that they should go do a suicide bombing, and through to creepy fucking right wingers on the internet who have inspired multiple mass murders. So it's very creepy. Well, see, here's the thing, Justin. Some sort of brainworm thing overtook about 75% of boomers. Because you look back at the literature, like when they were all hippies in the 60s, they were like, I can't wait for all these old people to die. And it's just going to be beautiful and love, peace, and happiness. And somewhere, for most of them, it was in their 50s or 60s, they took this hard right turn. And it's really weird. And I tend to agree with you, Justin. They're kind of worse than their parents' generation because they're more reactionary and extreme. Well, Megalich, finishing the Helios Road, you know what has got to happen there? Get some more. Which again, I'm half tempted to like go out into the fridge and get. I've still got some in the fridge, the plain one, but I won't. Not tonight. Oh yeah, no, that drink is good. I'm just feeling like there's something that would make it better. My initial impulse was an absinthe rinse, but I'm also thinking maybe a bit of a darker spirit, and even just a little bit, a rum or a whiskey. Sorry. Texting with the offspring. I'm going with no, Safa, that the Bible was not banned in Florida recently. And Justin and Safa, yeah, I think you're both onto something. The boomers had everything their own way. And then they did seem to get hyper paranoid that they'd lose all the privilege they'd had their whole lives. I think, the Quran would definitely get banned for it. I think what Safa might be thinking of is because just ridiculous shit fucking laws are being proposed and even passed in Florida. And one of the ones, because they're all trying to ban books and whatnot. And I think someone probably pointed out the letter of the law in this book banning thing would ban the Bible because the Bible had this content in it. So yeah, Safa, I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but I think what it might be is someone pointing out that if you followed the letter of the law with his book banning thing, the Bible would get banned. Oh, there you go. Megalich is saying that's it. Yes, okay. But of course, they don't really mean anything and they don't stand for anything. So the Bible is not getting banned, even though because of the stupid law, technically it should be. But anyway, that's just the way they are. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm going to make you know the Clarify cocktail tomorrow, and I've still got a lot of this one. I'm not going to drink all of this. I'm going to have some of it, though. That's fine. Speaking of demonic things, I love this. Where I can put it there so you can see better. This is an old Mr. Black bottle. Mr. Black coffee liqueur. They do designs on their bottles that really look like arcane magic symbols, and that's being distributed around the world now. It's one of the fastest growing alcohol brands in the world. Got bought by one of the really big companies, and I'm just waiting for some weirdo in America to see a Mr. Black bottle. Yeah, and with that, it's somewhere between tarot card and mystic symbols. And I'm just waiting for some weirdo in America to find it and go demonic. And there'd be a huge backlash. Like Mr. Black has been growing in leaps and bounds for the last couple of years. Good on him. Aussie success story. But I'm just waiting for some weirdo in America to latch on to the magic-looking imagery on their bottles and freaking right the fuck out. Oh, Christ, Justin, we've all been less financially secure than boomers. Also, this is just reminding me as well, because I shit on boomers and I shit on hippies and I shit on hippie boomers. But one of my dearest YouTube friends, who was known to come on the stream occasionally with the screen name Glee Girl Oz, she's absolutely lovely. She's a hippie boomer. And yeah, she did get upset at one point when I did this big rant about hippie boomers, and she said, I'm a hippie boomer. And I went, ugh, yes, no, that's a really good highlight of you can be humorously slagging a group, 90% of which is horrible, but the descriptors you use will also appeal to, will also conform with nice people. And it's unfortunate, so doing these sweeping statements is quite dangerous. Safa, I am an old Gen X, so I am much closer to boomers than millennials. Yeah. So arguably, I maybe have more in common with young boomers. Certainly the music I listened to in my formative years was being made by young boomers or other older Gen X. Oh, that's so fucking tasty. Oh, what do we got here? See if we can get an AI version of a Mr. Black bottle. Yeah, these are some nice designs, actually. So I'm just going to load them and then explain it. So the prompt was realistic image of a spirit bottle with magic occult symbols on it. They're quite nice designs. There's just got like versions of a pentagram and glyphs. Actually quite like that. If I could find a bottle that looked like that, I'd keep it. This one, it's oh wow, it's like runes and a not quite pentagram. It's suggesting without actually being a cult. So this way again, and I like the way it's glowing. It's very much suggesting occult or horoscopy things without actually being recognizable occult or horoscope symbols. This last one with the smoke and stuff. Again, I like it. So a not quite pentagram there, little swirls around it that look somewhere between runes and horoscope symbols. So it's like very suggestive of those things without actually recognizably being it, which I quite like. So Dad, Justin, your dad's a boomer, thinks the political divide was less large. Yeah, I look, not to be put too fine a point on it. The really marginalized minorities, racially and sexually, etc., had far less power and far less prominence in the boomer stuff. So the boomers could be real comfortable in their life, in their activism, whether they were progressive or conservative. It's just in the intervening decades, the marginalized minorities have rightly claimed more power and put themselves more in the public eye, and that's brought out the reactionary element in a lot of people who like to think they were progressive, so long as someone didn't get all up in their face. Because you look at what people were really saying in the 60s about like black rights movements and what they were saying in the 70s about gay rights, they were fucked. They delude themselves into thinking like Martin Luther King, he was a legend. At least 2/3 of white Americans thought Martin Luther King was a communist who should be in jail. So, yeah. And at least 2/3, probably 4/5 of Americans, and not, why am I saying Americans? Australians were perfectly happy with homosexuality being illegal and queer people being arrested, brutalized, and imprisoned. Nice. Use them for Pathfinder. That sounds great. Safa, I think the less money you have, the more likely you are to be progressive. Because the less money you have, the more likely you are to realize how unfair the system is. Man, I'm just going to throw it out there. I make nice alcoholic beverages. I'm amazed I haven't drunk more of this because it's really yummy. And it looks cool. Look at that beautiful thing. Before I clarified it, it was a really murky brown. Not, again, popular boomer comedy series Murphy Brown, but murky brown. Wait, what would murky brown be? I feel like Murphy Brown was a high-powered journalist. Murky Brown is a homeless alcoholic, which may be where Murphy Brown ended up. Who knows? Oh, speaking of TV comedies, to me, one of the weirdest shifts in a boomer going from being progressive to just being freakishly right-wing and reactionary is Roseanne. because like she's so openly and overtly racist now. I think, and you look back at the original Roseanne series, which was funny, which was a breakthrough. It has really explicit anti-racist messages. There's a whole show that's about how Roseanne won't hit her kids because it's fucked, because she was hit and it's fucked. And you listen to her now and she spouts just the most racist shit and talks about how the problem with these kids today is they weren't beaten enough. And it's like she's contradicting herself directly. And she's like had some late stage boomer brainworm fucking take over. She's really weird. Someone who is, and yes, Dr. Abigail, there was a queer story. Someone who's always been a conservative shithead. Well, they've always been a conservative shithead. But Roseanne these days is saying and promoting the literal opposite of stuff she promoted when her original show was on. And it's fucking surreal. And it's like she's not even aware of it. Like she doesn't say, I know I said that stuff before, but I was wrong. It's like she just doesn't acknowledge that what she's saying is the absolute reverse of what she said in the past. Justin, I don't think J.K. Rowling is the same. When you look at the Harry Potter books with an objective eye, there is masses of unconscious racism, the racism of privilege, the racism of, and while she was very poor for a while, she was still a white person being protected by the society she was in. There's a lot of unconscious racism, but still pretty overt racism, most notably the hook-nosed, untrustworthy goblins who run the banking system. What scary right-wing stereotype does that fit into? But yeah, no, she's latched onto the anti-trans things and now, yeah, actively advocates for aligning with literal Nazis. It's fun. Oh wow, we've done the thing. Oh, I've also used. I actually got some good Angry Cocktails logos from Midjourney before I stopped using it. I've saved it on my other computer. I'll have to share it at some point. But I actually got some quite good usable logos. These ones are quite fun, actually. But I am going to say the one I've saved is better. But I'll share them. That one's quite fun. That's like a pirate thing. Arr! Who's messaging me now? Wait, what am I doing? Okay. Sorry, I'm going to have something fun to share offline. That's fun. That's kind of got like an owl in it. Angry owl. All right, have you? Wow, I'm going to share a thing in a while. How did she make Dumbledore gay? She didn't make him gay till after the movies were all finished. She's a coward and she's a liar and she's a self-interested thing. Yep, YouTube Foods is cancelling me. Oh my god! Oh, it's a whole thing. Yes, I'm having an argument with YouFoods on my phone about whether or not they're going to keep delivering to me. Interestingly, yes, they are saying. Sorry, I'm just getting obsessed with YouFoods at the moment. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. In fact, dear. Sorry, I have to. Oh my god, what is it with YouFoods? Honestly, there's only one thing I want from them, and it's just gotten so complicated. Sorry, no, sorry, Megaleech, yes. Oh. Oh, sorry, I just saw this one. Jenny Craig collapsed. Was it under their own weight? Oh, God. Oh, it's okay. I don't know how Jenny Craig, corporate mismanagement, I would assume. It's kind of like when childcare centers go under. Everyone needs childcare. How the fuck do childcare centers go under? Think it's time to block YouFoods because I don't want to deal with this rubbish anymore. Putting the cat among the pigeons at YouFoods corporate. Info, and I don't want to hear from YouFoods anymore. What the fuck is this doing? Sorry, I just need to do something on my phone. Done. Save to photos. Done. Oh my god. Sorry. So things are turning out surprisingly amusing to me this evening. I'm going to have my soda water now. Also found out Cappy have a new flavor of these very lightly flavored soda waters that I probably want to try. Oh. Oh dear. All right. Sorry. Sorry, what was that, Justin? When ABC. Oh, right. Sorry. I was thinking TV. Yeah, that was the childcare thing. Government stepped in. Yeah. Again, that's just chronic mismanagement and probably fucking criminal corruption. Because how the fuck else? Sorry, just the whole evening is unintentionally hilarious to me. I know isn't that quality content? And thank you for going middle aged, not senior. And I'm going to stop. It just turned into an unexpectedly amusing evening. And I think YouTube had YouFoods. Why? I'm getting confused talking about YouFoods while I'm on YouTube. YouFoods, I think, had a moment of self-realization. It was just like, wowzers. Yeah, Safa. They should send me. I can send other people free food. I have little things to give people free food. Once, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Just every now and then to put me in my place. I tell you what, I actually got some light and easy today, and they put dry ice because their ones are frozen. There's dry ice in them, and I'm still miffed that I couldn't think of a good use for the dry ice. Oh, geez, I hope you. Well, I mean, honestly, I probably don't care all that much if YouFoods is going under. I've not heard anything about it. But Dr. Abigail, message me like on Discord tomorrow about the free food thing. Because I don't have any of the relevant information in front of me. But after like having like 4 fucking meetings across work today, I have no meetings tomorrow. So I will be able to focus on something else, just my paperwork. Safa, see, the interesting thing is they're quite different. YouFoods is little lunch-size things, and they're not frozen. You just keep them in the fridge and microwave them for a couple of minutes. Light and Easy, at least the ones I get their dinners, which are bigger and frozen. They're both good. They're both really good quality. They taste good. It's people ask, is it expensive? It's more expensive than making your own food. It's much cheaper than takeaway. And also, it's kind of like I order very similar things each time. So it's like, there's probably only between 7 and 10 different things I order from them. So if I'm getting them, it's like, oh, well, you're having, the same 7 lunches or 7 dinners each week. If I wasn't getting this pre-packaged stuff, my eating would be much less diverse and less healthy. I do not have the friggin' willpower to make 7 completely different lunches and 7 completely different dinners every week. So it's a better diversity of food than I'd have left to my own devices. And but yes, like I said, it's in this interesting spot of being more expensive than making your own food, but cheaper than takeaway. So yeah, it works. It works for me, is what I'm saying. I was just reading something, which again, super compelling. Again, it's Foods is not the only company that I'm having problems with because they're disconnected from reality. But hey, oh Jesus Christ, Safra, it's been raining. Well, non-stop is the wrong word, but it's been raining quite consistently for several days here. What's that, Justin? Okay, good. We're talking these diet foods. God damn it. $70 a week for 3 meals? 2 servings per meal? That's confusing to me. Now, that's what I call cooking talk. Cooked potatoes you grew yourself. That's compelling food talk right there. You know what? I accidentally grew potatoes once. This was ages ago. We were building a compost pile. I think we had some idea that we'd eventually be gardening. So we were chucking all our food waste into a pile. And it was going to be a compost eventually. But among the things we threw in there were like potato offcuts or some rotten potatoes and tomatoes, and they both fucking grew. Like the seeds from the tomatoes and the little sprouts that grow out of potatoes, they fucking grew. At one point I was just putting stuff in the compost pile and I realized it was only cherry tomatoes. I went, wait, that's a vine with tomatoes on it. We accidentally grew tomatoes. And then I looked and there were potatoes growing. And I was like, my God, I've accidentally grown potatoes and tomatoes. I was pretty impressed that I could do it accidentally. But there is something about growing stuff yourself that's really good. I wish you took a photo of them too. I'm like, because I talk so much shit that sometimes when I say to people that's good, people might think, I'm genuinely think growing your own potatoes is good. Oh, nice. More potatoes. Yes. I think it's a good thing. I tell you what. Sorry. U Foods is having some trouble at head office. I love saying stupid shit. Yeah. YouTube got a quarterly report that completely took them by surprise, and they're not dealing with it very well. Oh my god. It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny. And yeah, I just don't know what to say. It's so goddamn fun. Oh, wait. Have I missed a reference about potatoes? I don't know. What are you? Justin, you know someone who accidentally grew avocado, leaving a seed in a lunchbox. Turned into a civilization. Yeah, there's a whole thing with what you have to do if you actually want to grow avocado. And again, there's weird stuff about horticulture that I half know. And like I read certain things and I go, well, that's interesting. I literally don't understand it, but it's interesting. Like there are some trees, some fruit trees, you can't grow from the seeds of the fruit. You have to grow them from grafts from an existing tree, which fascinates me because someone must have originally grown them from a seed. But yeah, there's some fruit you can't grow from seed. You have to grow from a graft from tree. All right. No, you know what you're saying? 6 hours after you eat, you're being gross. You were actually being too clever for me. You weren't being gross. You were actually being too clever for me. And I missed it completely. So yeah, Alexander, a little bit of a cold snap, not brutal, just a bit of a hint that winter's coming. East coast of New South Wales and ACT definitely got smacked about though. Story about a bucket of duck food. Oofed. Yes. Oh, I'm trying to think. Okay. I'll tell a story from the deep dark past. My first year at uni in Bathurst, I lived with my sister and her husband, and they basically knew me. And the kitchen was a bit wild westy, and they did not clean up. They turned everything around a few years later, but there's a thing where they just did not clean up, and the kitchen was a disaster area. And there would be all these half-eat, and I mean like a dozen, say, things of half-eaten loaves of bread, and they would just leave them on the kitchen table and the pile would get bigger and bigger. And one day I was going, is there anything I want to do? Some toast, is any bread fresh? And I was opening the packet and I was like tapping the top bit of bread, and it was like tap tap, like tapping a piece of wood because it was stale. It's like tap tap tap, that's hard. Try this one, tap tap tap, that's hard. Tap tap tap. And I sort of went down in the pile as if the ones that were older were going to be better. But I finally found one when I tapped on the bread, it wasn't hard. And I went, oh, I found one that's not stale. Because I'm going, and that's soft. And what in my head made me think that a loaf that was under all the stale ones was going to be fresh? But I'm not looking, and I've got my hand in there going, it's soft. And then I pulled my hand out, and my hand was like mold up to those knuckles. I'd found a bag and hadn't looked. The bread had just degenerated into mold. There was no bread. So it felt soft because I was just putting my fingers into mold. And I pulled my hand out. It was like this green mold down to about those. That was a bad experience. That was a bad experience. So saying some fruits have to be grafted because they've been selectively bred. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Angry Foods Company. Now, if I start any company, it's going to be a distilling company. Sorry, I just keep seeing the funniest things. I just keep seeing the funniest things. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. I did not expect tonight's stream to be this amusing to me, but it is. Again, in Minecraft, there are weird people who are completely detached from reality, and I'm starting to suspect these fictional people spend so much time spinning absolute lies to other people because they're so insecure. They no longer know what's real and what isn't. And that's disturbing and dangerous for them and probably other people around them. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's again. It's kind of like it's like some people, it's like they're so removed from reality. If they had the psychological equivalent of the James Webb telescope, they still would not be able to see reality because they've drifted so far from reality that it's living in it's in a different universe. It's not just that it's in a different galaxy, it's in a different universe. Reality has just drifted away. It's just, I mean, I guess a weirdest thing is kind of if, and it can be like I was saying before. I've had quite bad experiences in the past of being manipulated and not wanting to admit that this other person was successfully manipulating me, because it's like, no, I'm a big, strong man. I don't get manipulated. And so the creepy, manipulative person, the fabulist, the serial liar, gets to keep doing it because I don't want to admit that they had me fooled or they were manipulating me for an extended period. It can be really difficult to break free of that sort of thing. It's just kind of important because that sort of person will eventually make it incredibly obvious they're lying. They'll make it incredibly obvious they're manipulating you. Like they descend so far into this fantasy world they're creating, they stop being able to understand when they're telling the truth and when they're lying. So they end up telling like really obvious lies. And at some point you need to extract yourself from that, which can be super, super bloody and there's thing again, not to this is not an armchair analysis of anyone. This is an actual real true thing that happened to me in the past, where there was this extremely difficult relationship, and I didn't first, like I said, I didn't want to admit the degree to which this person had successfully manipulated me. But yeah, then there was actually made an attempt to fix things up, and it was like couple counseling and therapy and analysis, and the therapist identifying borderline personality disorder in this person, and it was like, oh, a whole bunch of stuff makes sense now. And and you get weird manipulations of, with a violent person, they do the "see what you made me do" thing. And but when you get these people who are fabulists, pathological liars, whatever you want to say, when you call attention to the fact they're saying things that are obviously untrue, they a victim, and they say you're hurting them and all this sort of stuff, and it's weird. But here's a lovely person. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. How are you this this fine day? But yes, the sort of manipulator, and yeah, again, like I said, I don't want to do the armchair analyst thing, but you're lucky if you've never had this sort of person in your life. But the manipulator, and the first thing they do is, yes, is like, the love bombing or the constant positivity or whatever, and then they go into this weird web of lies to insinuate yourself. And the really disturbing ones, when you call them on their bullshit, will threaten self-harm. And all you've done is literally say, "Oh, you've been lying, you've been manipulating me, you've been hurting me." Oh, Justin, I should specify, the really bad thing I'm talking about is not actually my offspring's mother. I mean, that obviously wasn't great because we broke up, but also I don't believe that sort of thing is heritable. I think that's an environmental thing, and whole sort of thing. But I was not actually talking about my offspring's mum. Obviously, less than perfect on both sides, because it didn't last. But no, I was talking about actually a little relationship I had between her and Mrs. Angry. That was weird. And Kirsten, yes, I'm also interested in your book club. What are you reading in book club? Oh, doesn't that sound toasty? 41 CNFs. Oh God, I read an article. I think it was was it South Korea or was it Vietnam? Somewhere in Southeast Asia had a record temperature, like 44 Celsius. And people just being told, don't go outside. It's really bad for your health. Yeah, but yeah. I am quite concerned that's what our summer is going to be. The next summer in Australia is going to be record temperatures, and it's going to fucking suck. Horrible sign of things to come. But yes, the Four Winds. I am not familiar with that. Who wrote The Four Winds, Kirsten? What's that about? Oh, that's a fun bit of hometown trivia, Cypher. Thanks for that. New South Wales Nationals leader is from Dubbo. There you go. Well, prime Nationals territory, Dubbo, I must say. I am currently listening to the audiobook of a book called Wanderers by sci-fi writer Chuck Wendig, which is a sequel to a book called Brain Go Blank. That's not what the book's called. That was literally me just saying my brain go blank. Okay, I'm going to look it up. Okay, Jesus. It's really good. Post-apocalypse stuff. But quite innovative. And it's like AI and killer things. So the first book's called Wanderers, and the sequel, which I'm listening to now, is called Wayward. Really, really, really good. Oh, okay. So the author is Kristen Hanna. There you go. That's the thing. Justin, I get what you're saying about picking up traits from your parents. I think I probably picked up traits from my parents too. I guess I was being pedantic about the term inherent. Oh, wow. So that book's about the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl. Okay. That sounds like pretty intense reading. Glad you enjoyed it. Oh dear. So again, just coming back to, did not expect tonight's stream to amuse me as much as it did, but it really did. Yeah. Oof. So yes, books is a much more interesting topic than weird manipulative people, but it's when you've got this, and I don't know if I should even bother trying to put a label on it. I mean, I know reflexively a lot of people talk about narcissists when they do this compulsive lying thing and trying to insinuate themselves into other people's lives, and they start by flattering, and then they just try and hook people in with absolutely ridiculous lies, and and then the ultimate thing for someone who is a manipulator, or worse, an abuser, when you call something on it, they try and make themselves the victim. And particularly talking about, oh, if you don't continue to let me do this, I'll self-harm. It's like, fuck that noise. So, having said that, it's brought us up to bedtime. Oh yeah, no, Safa. People fucking with you when they're in your family sucks. And how Tim Smith? I'm probably only half Tim Smith. I only had those 2 drinks. They're reasonably strong though. Anywho, thank you, fine people, for being here. And I know there were periods where it was very weird because all I was doing was texting or something. Life be like that sometimes. But you all take care. I'll probably be back on Thursday. We'll see what happens then. But I hope to see you another time. And I will say